Imagine driving a machine worth millions, traveling at 350 kilometers per hour, and sitting just a few centimeters away from over 100 kilograms of highly flammable fuel. That's the reality of every Formula One driver. But here's the thing, most fans don't even know where that fuel is stored, how it moves, or why it doesn't explode when a car crashes and bursts into flames. Behind the speed, the aerodynamics, and the hybrid systems lies one of F1's most underrated engineering marvels, the fuel tank. It's not just a container, it's a masterpiece of design, safety, and precision. Today we'll reveal how Formula One engineers turned one of the sport's deadliest components into one of its safest. From the early days of fire and danger to the ultra-protected systems of today, this is the hidden story of how F1 tamed the fire inside the beast. If you ever wondered where the fuel tank sits in a Formula One car, the answer might surprise you. It's not under the floor. It's not in the side pods. The fuel tank is positioned right behind the driver's seat, sandwiched between the cockpit's survival cell and the roaring engine. This placement keeps the car's weight centralized, crucial for balance and handling. But it also means that drivers literally have their backs pressed against a bag full of explosive liquid. That's why safety has always been an obsession in its design. Back in the day, Formula One cars used to refuel mid-race. Teams could run lighter, faster cars, then top up with fuel during pit stops. But after 2010, the FIA banned refueling. Since then, every F1 car must start the race with up to 110 kilograms of fuel, enough to last the entire Grand Prix. That changed everything. Fuel efficiency, engine mapping, and especially tank design became critical engineering challenges. The tank had to hold more fuel than ever before without compromising safety or aerodynamics. Forget the idea of a metal gas tank. A Formula One fuel cell looks more like a soft, flexible organ than a box. It's made of layers of Kevlar and rubberized fabric, capable of flexing under stress without tearing. Inside, it's filled with foam and small compartments, designed to stop the fuel from sloshing violently during braking, cornering, and acceleration. That's not just clever, it's essential. When you have liquid moving around inside a 200-mile-per-hour car, even small shifts in mass can destabilize the vehicle. So engineers use this porous foam and a labyrinth of internal chambers to keep the fuel stable and to feed the engine evenly from start to finish. In the 1950s and 60s, things were terrifyingly different. Fuel tanks were simple aluminum boxes, often placed wherever they could fit. In some designs, like the Lancia D50, the tanks were mounted on the car's sides, literally next to the driver's body. During a crash, one spark could turn a Grand Prix into a firestorm. Drivers of that era had a haunting fear, not of impact, but of being trapped inside a fire. It wasn't uncommon to see fatal fires, and teams slowly realized that fuel safety had to evolve. Then came 1962 and the Lotus 25. It introduced the monocoque chassis, integrating fuel tanks within the car's structure. This improved performance, but made things even more dangerous, because now drivers were literally surrounded by gasoline. By the 1970s, Formula One borrowed a page from aviation engineering. Military aircraft used flexible, puncture-resistant fuel bladders, and F1 engineers adapted that idea. The result was revolutionary: a flexible fuel cell made from synthetic rubber and reinforced with Kevlar fibers. It wouldn't shatter or leak upon impact, drastically reducing the risk of explosion. That's the same basic concept still used today, refined, regulated, and relentlessly tested by the FIA. Today's F1 fuel system is a network of precision engineering. Let's break it down. Inside the flexible tank are multiple low-pressure electric pumps positioned at key points around the edges. These pumps constantly collect fuel, no matter how the car is tilting or cornering, and send it to a central collector unit. From there, a high-pressure pump, provided by Magneti Marelli and common to all teams, pushes the fuel to the engine at incredible pressures, up to 500 bar. This ensures a consistent flow, even during violent lateral G-forces that could momentarily starve the engine. Everything inside the tank is designed to handle massive forces while minimizing slosh, vibration, and risk of air bubbles. To prevent the fuel from moving unpredictably, F1 tanks use clever one-way flaps and segments. These tiny valves allow fuel to move in one direction, toward the pumps, but never back. That way, when a car turns sharply or brakes hard, the fuel stays near the collector where it's needed most. The result? The car's center of gravity remains stable. The driver can use nearly every last drop of fuel. The flow to the engine stays perfectly consistent lap after lap. It's a perfect example of how F1 engineering focuses on microscopic precision for macroscopic speed. For decades, these systems worked flawlessly. After the horrific accident of Gerhard Berger at Imola in 1989, Formula One went more than 30 years without a single major fireball incident. Then, in 2020, came Romain Grosjean's crash in Bahrain, an explosion that reminded everyone how dangerous this sport can still be. When his Haas hit the barrier and split in two, the FIA's investigation found two key failures. 1. The inspection hatch on the chassis came loose. 2. The fuel line connection was torn out of the tank by the separating engine. That's how fuel escaped and ignited. As always in F1, tragedy sparked innovation. By 2022, regulations changed. Teams were forced to redesign how the engine attaches to the chassis, ensuring that in extreme crashes, it can separate cleanly without damaging the fuel system. Every accident teaches a new lesson, written not in ink but in fire. The modern F1 fuel cell sits inside 3 layers of protection. 1. The Kevlar reinforced flexible bladder. 2. A carbon fiber deformable structure around it. 3. The titanium survival cell, which protects both the driver and the tank. Together, these layers make it nearly impossible for fuel to leak, even in a high-speed crash. There are also automatic cut-off valves, so if the car splits apart, the fuel flow stops instantly. Even with 500 bars of pressure, the system seals itself in milliseconds. It's one of those things we never see during a race, but it might just be the reason drivers walk away alive. As Formula One moves towards sustainable fuels and hybrid technology, the fuel tank's role will evolve once again. From flammable danger to eco-engineered safety device, it has transformed alongside the sport itself. By 2026, F1 will introduce fully sustainable fuel made from synthetic and renewable sources. It will burn cleaner, produce fewer emissions, but still deliver the same adrenaline-pumping power. That means new chemistry, new safety standards, and possibly new tank materials to handle the next generation of racing fuel. The fuel tank of a Formula One car is one of the sport's quietest heroes. It doesn't scream down the straight, it doesn't make headlines, but it silently keeps the heart of the car alive, lap after lap. From deadly aluminum boxes to indestructible Kevlar bladders, from firestorms to flawless safety, this is how F1 conquered one of its greatest enemies: fuel itself. So next time you watch an F1 car fly past at 300 kilometers per hour, remember, behind that sound and speed lies a story of innovation, sacrifice, and human genius. Because in Formula One, even the smallest details decide between life, death, and victory.